I'm Dave England, and this is the Fire Hose Rodeo.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 jackass injuries you actually see in the movie.
Where are we going, Knoxville?
The hospital?
What the hell are we doing that for?
I don't know. Apparently I have a big gash in my head and I think I'm a little concussed.
For this list, we'll be looking at any significant wounds, bruises, or otherwise that viewers could see during the films. Which of these made you wince? Let us know in the comments below. Number 20. Welts. Jackass Number Two. Not a serious injury, but quite nasty nevertheless. Dunn, Bam, and Knoxville all received welts after getting shot by a riot control weapon in Jackass Number Two.
Fire in the hole!
The tension was quite palpable as weapons expert Daniel Alvarez was explaining that the rubber balls shoot out at 500 feet per second. Dave England panicked and backed out, and both Bam and Dunn were clearly hesitant about performing the stunt.
Dude, Knoxville is if Knoxville goes in there, dude, I'll French kiss him.
Ever the charmer, Knoxville convinced them to do it, and he was the only one left standing after the smoke literally cleared. After rousing Bam from the brink of tears, all three men showed off their bare legs and bellies that were now spotted with red and purple welts. Number 19. Ehren's knocked out tooth. Jackass 2.5. There was actually enough footage left from filming the second movie to enable the creation of Jackass 2.5. One of the most memorable bits that we didn't get to see at first was called Mini Motorcycle Mayhem.
We're here with BMX legend Matt Hoffman, and this is Mini Motorcycle Mayhem!
During this stunt, a small group of jackasses are seen riding mini bikes and jumping over produce in a supermarket. Unfortunately, it wasn't all a joyride. Dave and Ehren actually collided during the stunts. When the dust clears, it's clear that there's one less tooth in the Jackass crew.
Hey! You knocked out my tooth again!
Ehren's look of complete shock at this unexpected dental disaster convinced us that we're better off just walking through stores manually. Number 18. Cactus Collision. Jackass Forever. The long-awaited fourth entry seemed like a passing of the torch. One of the new faces that appeared alongside the classic characters was Zach Holmes.
Jackass, he's a real wild, crazy guy. He's a gnarly superstar. Jackass.
Cleverly titled Jackass, it sees him running off a ramp on a big kite and falling straight into some cactus. The stunt predictably turns him into a human pincushion. When he stands up, he's totally shredded with many large and raw scrapes. It's enough to make anyone wince in sympathy. However, Holmes is one tough dude. He simply laughs the injury off with the rest of the crew. Now that's how you ingratiate yourself with the team.
No, we paid our dues, so we're handing the torch to you. All right.
Number 17. Stevo gets roasted. Jackass 3.5. There's a Jackass 3.5 stunt that might leave you sweating while you watch it play out at home. Within a warehouse, the crew set up a fiery obstacle course that had flaming balls on top of a pit with hot metal and coals below.
Yeah, I noticed that. Why did they put it on a frying pan?
Stevo had to try to make it through the flaming gauntlet intact, and it goes about as well for him as you'd expect. After making it about halfway, Stevo falls off the beam and lands directly atop hot coals. Although he's only there for a short time, the incident leaves him with many horrible burns. Even the on-set crew members that help him recover wince at his injuries. Stevo also admits that he had to visit a hospital after this red-hot stunt.
I got burned all upside my body and had to go to a burn unit.
Number 16. Broken Collarbone. Jackass 3D. Loomis Fall has popped up in a few Jackass and Wild Boy stunts throughout the years. Unfortunately, he suffered quite a horrible injury on the set of Jackass 3D. During the jet engine stunt, Fall decided to jump off a small trampoline while opening an umbrella. The jet engine blasted him off the trampoline, and he fell chest first into the hard ground. While director Jeff Tremaine can be seen laughing after the fact, he probably wasn't too smiley after learning the extent of Fall's injuries. As he later told MTV, Fall broke both his collarbone and hand in the stunt, which could maybe explain the weird way Fall hobbles around after getting up. Number 15. Butt Scrape. Jackass Number Two. It came at the expense of Dave England, who was holding on to a flailing fire hose.
I'm Dave England, and this is the Fire Hose Rodeo.
England was eventually thrown from the hose and landed on his bottom, prompting one of the funniest responses from the movie. England limps around, holds his butt, and makes some ungodly yet funny noises before declaring that his bottom hurts. Only his words were far cruder. When the crew checks it out, they find that his left butt cheek is bleeding after getting scraped up from the hard and muddy ground. Number 14. Knoxville's Nasty Brews. Jackass the Movie. Johnny Knoxville has been the guinea pig in numerous riot control tests throughout his Jackass career. For the first movie, he was shot in the gut with a projectile beanbag traveling at 250 feet per second.
Is that lethal?
It's considered less lethal.
This is one of those rare stunts in which Knoxville isn't his jokey self. He seems seriously concerned and anxious before the stunt, which speaks to its inherent danger. It doesn't help that he was forced to change the positioning from the chest to the gut, as a hit to the heart had the potential to kill him.
So this morning I thought I was taking it in the chest with the beanbag projectile, but George and his company said no way, because if it hits me in the heart, I'm pretty much done with.
Knoxville goes down hard and immediately shows the result, revealing a purple welt. 2 days later, the welt had developed into a horrible bruise.
It hurts so much. Like going from a prone position to standing is, oof.
Number 13. Ripped off eyebrows. Jackass 4.5. Although we heard reports of Stevo getting a dislocated shoulder and bruised ribs on Jackass Forever, we saw a more cosmetic injury on screen. Stevo voluntarily had wax strips attached to his own eyebrows. After bringing in a bird trainer, they set the stunt up so the animal would grab a target that would rip away those strips of hair. Before you know it, Stevo loses most of his eyebrows, and he has a look of hilarious befuddlement on his face. He made us wince even more when he finished the job himself. Since the stunt is missing from the theatrical cut, casual viewers may not know why Stevo's eyebrows are missing in certain bits of the movie.
You look really sexy.
If you think I look good now, just wait.
Number 12. Dave's Bloody Nose. Jackass Number Two. Poor Dave got really messed up throughout the filming of Jackass Number Two. Thankfully for us, his injuries often make for great comedic fodder. In one of the movie's funniest pranks, Dave shows up at Knoxville's house and rings the doorbell. A huge airbag then shoots out and slams directly into Dave's face, knocking him to the ground. Dave is clearly stunned by the ordeal, as he can barely talk and seems rather disoriented. His nose begins to bleed, and Knoxville ushers him inside while giving the crew some funny looks of sympathy. Knoxville also managed to get Stevo, Ryan Dunn, and director Jeff Tremaine, but neither of them took it directly to the nose.
Dude, let's get inside. We got a medic inside.
Number 11. The numerous treadmill injuries. Jackass Forever. On the surface, a stunt where multiple jackasses with instruments jump onto a speeding treadmill doesn't seem like it's that extreme.
Hello, my name's Johnny Knoxville, and this is the marching band.
But if you ask anyone who actually participated, they'd probably tell you a different story. As soon as anyone steps on the treadmill, they're sent rocketing off onto a hard floor. The stunt leaves them all writhing in pain and absorbing what just happened. While they all are undoubtedly hurting, it was especially bad for Knoxville and Stevo. Both were sent to the hospital with unspecified injuries. Judging by Stevo's neck brace, they're not likely to replay this hit again anytime soon.
I feel like I'm coming back to myself, but I can't remember nothing. I didn't whip out, did I?
Number 10. Ehren's Broken Face. Jackass 3D. Yep, you heard right. A broken face. During Jackass 3D, Ehren McGahee suffered another facial injury. This is mainly because he decided to attach one of his front teeth to Bam's Lamborghini with a string.
Dr. Pontius, Dr. Dunn, can we do this?
Well, finally.
Time up and let's do it.
After it speeds off, Ehren has one less pearly white to contend with. The eye-watering stunt leaves him racked with pain and looking like he seriously regretted some of his choices. However, things managed to get worse. According to Ehren, the stunt actually fractured a good deal of his face. Said injury took a full 9 months to heal. We're guessing that's probably why dentists don't use cars to pull teeth.
I wish I could say that didn't suck. Oh, God.
You look terrible.
Number 9. Butt infection. Jackass Number Two.
Here we are at some random-ass ranch, and this is the brand, and it's gonna suck.
A lot of people walked away from Jackass Number Two with butt injuries. In one of the movie's most famous stunts, Bam receives a particularly crude brand on his right butt cheek, which was delivered by good friend Ryan Dunn. Unfortunately, the stunt proved a disaster.
Done the first time. Press. I did press. You went like that.
Dunn was too hesitant and Bam squirmed away from the brand too much, resulting in multiple imprints. Unfortunately, these brands quickly turned into a horrific infection. Bam showed his mother the grotesque brand 3 days later, and it was not a pretty sight.
Permanent? Yes, look.
Number 8. A below-the-belt rupture. Jackass Forever. Some people consider Danger Ehren to be the MVP of Jackass Forever, which is cool considering his relatively minor role in the earlier films. What a character arc. One of the movie's most memorable stunts was the cup test. In this stunt, Ehren experienced how an athletic cup would hold up against various dangers.
His punch is the equivalent of...
Wait, you don't need to read that now.
You're about to be hit by a car, Ehren.
The most painful test came via a pogo stick. Once Dave England had gotten into position, he hopped right onto his castmate's groin. The stick reportedly ruptured one of Ehren's family jewels. This is evident by Ehren's reaction, as he seems genuinely concerned immediately following the accident. He had to leave the set in an ambulance. Thankfully, Ehren seemed to bounce back from the painful pogo encounter. Number 7. Inserting a car. Jackass the Movie. While this may not be a traditional Jackass injury, we're still willing to bet it wasn't that comfortable. The first movie ends with a stunt where Ryan Dunn inserts a toy car into himself.
Number 1, it's not getting in there. Number 2, even if it does, it's not staying in there. Definitely no sitting down happening. Number 3, there's no way they're going to believe that this is true.
However, that's only half the joke. The next step requires him to go to a doctor and revel in the professional's bewildered reactions. Although the crew found it hilarious, this bit could have been very dangerous. As the doctor explains, this isn't something you just get rid of, as it could cause some serious internal injuries. The credits fortunately confirm that Dunn was able to get it out naturally.
You think maybe I can just, poop it out? You won't be able to poop it out. In fact, it will hurt you.
Number 6. Snake bites. Jackass Number Two.
Hello, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is the Anaconda Ball Pit. Oh!
Ever the performer, Johnny Knoxville attempted to wrangle a massive anaconda that was camouflaged inside a children's ball pit.
You guys gotta catch these guys, man. They tried to kill J-Lo and Ice Cube.
It did not go well. The anaconda bites Knoxville several times in the wrist and arm, and by the end of the skit, Knoxville's right forearm was a mess of numerous bites. Luckily, he didn't seem too hurt or concerned, and he continued to joke when a second anaconda attacked Ryan Dunn.
We forgot about the other snake.
Still, seeing that is incredibly scary, and it could have been even worse if Bam was inside that pit instead of Knoxville. He probably would have dropped dead in fear. Number 5. Bullish injuries. Jackass Forever. One of the key stunts of Jackass Forever saw Knoxville getting run over by a bull.
Hello, I am Johnny the Magnificent. Today I'm going to wow you with my supreme skills of prestidigitation.
The footage is both startling and concerning. At one point, Knoxville spins like a ragdoll and remains motionless after hitting the ground. Most of the crew looks worried, either covering their mouths in shock or glancing at the unconscious Knoxville with great anxiety. While he woke up and seemed all right, the reality was anything but. The stuntman suffered a multitude of injuries, including broken bones, his 16th concussion, and even a brain hemorrhage. It's plain to see why his doctor strongly advised him to stay out of the path of any more bowls. Number 4. Stevo's shredded leg. Jackass Number Two. They filmed so much material that some of it is relegated to the credits. That's the case with this brief sequence at the end of Jackass Number Two. Equipped with nothing but a pair of safety goggles, Stevo rides a skateboard through a wall of fluorescent light bulbs. This unbelievably dangerous stunt really messed up Stevo's left leg. Although we won't linger on it for long, trust us when we say he needed a Band-Aid or 20. In typical Stevo fashion, he didn't let the injury get him down. He laughed, casually called for a doctor, and probably went on to film other stunts soon after.
I need a doctor, dude. Doctor!
Number 3. Stevo's infection. Jackass the movie. While not necessarily an injury, this is still a hideous outcome that came about from a poorly thought out stunt.
Tropical pole vaulting.
Unsurprisingly, diving into a river of excrement is not a good idea. Stevo performed a stunt called Pooh River Pole Vault, which saw him pole vaulting into a disgusting body of water populated with chemicals, a dead cat, and various puddles of waste. This segment was later edited into Tropical Pole Vaulting, although it removes most of the disgusting aftermath. While the movie cuts away with Stevo swimming out of the river, a DVD extra shows him continuously vomiting in the nearby parking lot. The river reportedly gave Stevo a serious infection, not to mention a sore stomach from all that puking. Number 2. Concussion. Jackass the movie.
I'm Johnny Knoxville.
And I'm Butterbean.
Today we're going to do a little boxing.
A stunt in the first movie saw Johnny Knoxville fighting professional boxer Butterbean inside a department store. Real name Eric Esch, Butterbean has 58 wins by knockout under his belt and weighs nearly 380 pounds. Getting hit by him would not feel good, to say the least. It doesn't take Knoxville long to go down, and when he does, he goes down hard. Knoxville was knocked unconscious and left audibly snoring on the ground, and when he came to, he was clearly dazed and in pain. Knoxville later told Sam Shuby of GQ that he suffered a concussion from the event and said the concussion ended up giving him vertigo. Damn.
By knockout in the first round, new champion, Butterbean. Woo, yeah!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Dunn's blood clot. Jackass Number Two. Of everyone who suffered injury throughout Jackass Number Two, Brian Dunn got it the worst.
That was totally not me. I had nothing to do with it.
You pulled it down.
I didn't.
Oh my God, my hip. I think I gave birth.
During the climactic musical number, Preston Lacey was reportedly knocked unconscious after flying into a camera stand, and both Dunn and Bam were yanked off their feet by a galloping horse. Dunn landed on his shoulder, and the injury nearly proved fatal. He developed a serious blood clot from the injury, and its close proximity to the heart was life-threatening. He was also suffering from Lyme disease at the time, and both the disease and the treatment required for the blood clot resulted in a case of depression that lasted years. He reportedly cut off all personal contact with his friends and refused to take part in Jackass-related events.
Please, God, don't let there be a Jackass 3. Yes. Please, God, don't let there be a Jackass 3. I don't even like doing 2.